Hello there guys, Francis Gray here, and today I've got a new model custom to show you all. This is the classic movie monster Dracula, made famous originally by Bela Lugosi from the Universal movie monsters. This model kit was originally made by Aurora. I do believe they later reissued this kit, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have been under Polar Lights maybe. Yeah, this is the classic original Aurora version of the model. It's a styrene kit, comes in a multitude of parts. The parts mainly consist of the base, which is all one piece apart from these little bits of little tufts of grass sticking out. The tree comes in 4 parts, so part A is the front part of the tree, part B the back part of the tree, part C this tree trunk here, and part D the other tree trunk. The only other accessories for this tree is the 2 vampire bats. Now they clip on into place via the back of the tail is a little bit further back, like a millimetre back, and then the 2 feet are like a millimetre in the foreground. So there's a bit of a gap there to click a branch up into. So basically, it's just a bit of a hobby styrene glue on the tail and on the 2 legs, and then just put it into place. I would recommend gluing this separate before you add it to the base, so that way you could put the tree on its back, and then gravity will help keep the vampire bats in place. If you try to glue them if you've already stuck the tree and then you try to glue the bats, you'll probably find that the bats will probably want to be like leaning forward. Now there's other ways around it. You could lean something up against it, or you could use a rubber band to try and keep it in place. But for me personally, I'd suggest just keeping the tree separate from the main base right until the last minute. Also, I would recommend, because you can get in underneath the tree, me myself, even though it was a quite good connection, I know if you're going to move this model, the chances are you'd probably move it via the tree. So I wanted to add a little bit more stability, so basically I went in the 4 corners and then added like a chunk of Aves epoxy modelling clay. You could use air dry modelling clay, that would do the same job. But Aves epoxy is a little bit tougher once hardened. So yeah, so just put a bit of Aves epoxy modelling clay in the 4 corners, and then the tree should be nice and solid. And then all the other parts is basically the main figure of Dracula himself. So for the most part, everything went together really simple. I believe the head is in 2 parts. Then you got this little bow tie area that goes on. I would suggest gluing that after you've made the main body, because it can sit odd, and if you glue it and then make the body, you might find that the head won't fit in. So I'd do the body first, leave the cape off, and then put some glue on the bow tie, and then put the head on, and then it should fit naturally. The main torso is in 2 parts, the arms are in 2 parts, the hands come separate, the legs, they come 2 parts for this leg, 2 parts for that leg, and then the leg glues via the middle part there. Shoes, they come in 2 parts each, just glue them together and then glued onto the bottom of the leg. The only fiddly part to it really that didn't want to seem to go was the cape. Now the back part of the cape, that went on pretty easy. It's these front parts here that's the pain. Basically, when you glue them on, you've got these really bad seam lines that come up on the shoulders. This one here was really bad. I tried heating this styrene up with a heat gun. Tried bending it. It just didn't want to give. Didn't want to go. And if I tried to glue it to make the seam fit, this would be stood out here somewhere, which would look totally unrealistic. And also I wanted it to connect with this one, so I had another area to add some glue, so it would help protect it and keep it in place. So what I ended up doing was I basically just glued this into shape, but there was a huge couple of probably about 3 or 4 millimeters gap between the back part of the cape and the front part of the cape. So that had to be Aves epoxied over. So basically I just took some Aves epoxy modelling clay, mushed it up, put it in the crack, let that harden, and then went back over it again with a thin layer of Aves, just basically to map over the crease. So once that had hardened, just took a normal nail file, filed it smooth, tried to mimic some of the bumps and lumps and creases, and then just acrylic black over it, and then matte varnished over that once the paint had dried, and then you can't actually tell now. So yeah, so I'll see if I can zoom in and give you a closer look. So as you can see there, I went with like bright blue eyes, just mainly so they stand out. And if you've seen the original Universal movie monsters with Bela Lugosi, whenever one of his main traits was he had very like hypnotic eyes. They would always like shine this light in his eyes, which kind of give across like a supernatural hypnosis kind of power that Dracula has. So basically I just wanted to get across that, you know, that his eyes were lighter and brighter and a bit more mesmerising, just part of his character really. You could probably see that the seam line on the cape there is now gone, which is really nice. Same with the other side. So there's the vampire bats. I don't know if they're showing up or not. Apologies if not. And then we go to the main floor. Now, me myself, I basically made the base to mimic like midnight. Because there's a few build-ups I've seen of this, and even though they do look good, they paint the base really bright colours, like bright greens and stuff, and it makes no sense that so it makes no sense that he's out during the day for me. So yeah, basically I just painted it the darker colours and then went over it with a black wash, rubbed off the excess. And then basically after that was done, then I started painting the rocks. So yeah, so not much else to talk about with this model. This is the latest of the Aurora kit builds that I've been building. So if you're interested in those, please check out my channel for all the others. Did enjoy this one. Very simplistic, easy to put together apart from that cape. So yeah, if you do have one of these, or you manage to get one of these, or one of the later reissues, and you're a horror fan, I would highly suggest, or highly recommend getting one, building it up. I hope you enjoy this quick look at review. Please don't forget to click the like button and share on Facebook and Twitter, guys, because it helps new people find my channel, which I'm always appreciative of. Thank you very much. And nothing else to say, but thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you very much, and goodbye.